Yeah. It wobbles a lot more than like my little PCC does. It kind of has a... Well, at least it's running pretty good. Well, hey, lock's back. Well, the aftermarket accessories for the P320 have taken off in the last 6 years since it was introduced. One thing that we had been lacking until now is an AR style pistols and rifles that actually accept P320 magazines. So in enters CMMG. CMMG is a company that does AR style platforms. They actually do AR platforms in 12 different calibers, and they have several models of pistol caliber carbines or PCCs that accept different pistol magazine types. So obviously Glock magazines are popular ones. They have a few other different styles, but this one obviously is special. It's brand new as of August 4th, 2020. It's their Banshee style AR platform. This is a pistol that actually takes P320 magazines. There are two models that are important here. The Banshee is a 5-inch barrel with a radial delay blowback bolt. And then they also have a Resolute. They have this available in a 16-inch model that takes the P320 magazines with the same overall style, but obviously longer barrel and with a fixed stock instead of the brace. So I got a chance to take a look at this gun over the past month or so. CMMG was nice enough to send one over for me to play with, and then I could send it back here in a bit. But actually, this is one where I could definitely see buying one of these. Because I've got so many dang P320 magazines, and actually the quality is really good and it seemed to run really, really well. So I'm going to walk you through real quick. Again, the big selling feature obviously is the magazines. So it ships with 2 of the SIG branded 21 round magazines. The mag well itself is I'm going to say it's just okay. It serves the purpose, but if I'm going to do PCC, there's 2 things I'm going to switch. One would be I'd put a magwell on the thing if I was going to shoot like a competition with this gun. And the magazines themselves, though, it will accept any standard P320 magazine, and that is everything from something like the big, this is a 17 rounder with a Springer Precision plus 10 extension on it, right there for 27 rounds. It also will even take like a 32 round Pro Mag magazine, and even the compact and subcompact P320 magazines will fit and function just perfectly in this gun. So the wings don't matter. Literally any P320 magazine you have lying around will work in this, with one exception perhaps, and that is I've tried one of these ETS magazines to see if that perhaps would work with this. They sell a 30 round ETS magazine. That one is just a little bit too wide to seat in this. You know, ETS, that does not, I'm not going to be staying up at night just because I can't run an ETS magazine. Not really unhappy with that at all, especially since those 32 round Pro Mags seem to work just fine, and actually I think if I was going to go crazy and shoot PCC, I might even try one of these mag bodies, try a Springer plus 10 extension on it with maybe like a, I don't know, 30 something round coil spring, and see if I get that running. But either way, using a Springer plus 10 plus one of the 21 round mags, that actually might be a decent base platform to start with, and go from there for magazine capacity. However, mags seem to work well. Ships with 2 really high quality SIG magazines. Going through the rest of the gun, the magazine release is actually pretty nice. It's not an ambi release, it's just one side. The safety is ambi. Trigger we'll get to in a second. For this one, you have a Raptor style charging handle that's actually CMMG branded. It's It's a really nice charging handle, really easy to get to. You have the ripstock or the rip brace, which means that this right back here, if you just, it's designed so you can just pull it directly back. So if you have this in a backpack or something else, it makes it super, super easy to actually get that back to a longer extension, whether that's from the rifle platform or the pistol brace platform. That's actually kind of a really cool option that CMMG has there. And I think they sell these buffer tubes that do that rip back. They sell those on their website, it looks like. Brace itself is a CMMG branded, looks like SP Tactical, but I think it's CMMG's how they have it branded. And then they're running a Magpul grip, Magpul MOE grip, with the storage compartment. It's all really comfortable, higher end components for sure. Trigger itself is a single stage trigger. I will tell you the one big thing that I'd change on here is the trigger. So because it's PCC and because PCC, they really hit so hard and they're so abusive on triggers, my assumption is that's why for the single stage trigger, it's a little bit heavier than you may prefer. This one comes in at about 7.5 pounds. Something like that. So when I had a few of my friends out at a match, took them off the side, had them take a look at it, see what they thought, and shoot a little bit. The first response from most people when they're pulling the trigger was to check and make sure first that the safety wasn't still on, and no, it certainly wasn't on. So once they got used to it, though, it was actually worked just fine for everyone. If this is my own personal gun, I'm probably going to drop it out. I have some of the new Hyperfire drop-ins that are designed for PCC. I have one of those, my MPX, and that's feeling really good so far. And it's, the 2.5 pound range instead of 7. So that's thing number one I probably want to change on this. But other than that, like I said, and maybe the magwell, it's actually really good. I wouldn't see myself changing anything else. The finish on this is a really, really beautiful Cerakote. I think this is a slate color Cerakote. And the 300 series, which is what this one is, it comes with, has a bunch of different Cerakote options. What was it? 8 different Cerakote options that are down in their brochure. So if you're interested, obviously, you can go to CMMG and check out the different finish options that they have. Yeah, really nice all around. What makes the system itself actually different from some of the other PTs and blowbacks, other just that they can take different types of magazines and they have all these different calibers available, is that radial delay blowback system. So a lot of PCCs, actually almost all PCCs, except for like the MPX and I think the H&Ks, most of them are direct blowback. The thing with direct blowback means you have to have a really, really heavy buffer spring. It also means that unless you have a heavy buffer spring, round's not going to stay chambered as long as you need. So if it comes back and there could still be too much pressure, you can have blowouts and things like that. Makes it more gassy, makes it have more recoil as well. Since you have to have like a heavy buffer and a heavy buffer spring to keep everything in there. So what CMMG has done with this radial delay blowback is it's a bolt that looks actually just like an AR-15 bolt. Imagine that. And let me pull it out here if I can. So obviously, when this pushes back, it actually forces, there's a little spring tension here on the bolt. So it forces the bolt back, and it gives you just enough delay to actually slow down the action, relieve some of the pressure on the chamber, and just that, and delay that blowback again to make things a little bit softer. Makes it so you don't have to run as heavy of a buffer spring in it, and ends up being quite a bit safer too. So you don't have as much chance of like a around, like detonating outside or basically overpressure, blowing out the side as you're shooting the gun. So pretty cool system, seems to work really, really well. Yeah, I'll throw some video in. Did take this out and shot it quite a bit. Reliability I found to be really, really good, and Banshee, that's a good thing about CMMG. This is a brand that's been around for a long time, so you have no problem actually looking up the online and finding out what the reliability is of the Banshee style platforms or the longer 16-inch barrel Resolutes. Overall, really actually fun gun. Had a couple other guys shoot it who shoot P320 a lot. A couple of them, I know they're actually going to pick them up because they were impressed with it. And again, they've got all the magazines already, got everything else. So this platform just makes sense. Didn't do really a whole lot of accuracy testing with it. I just got it, bore sighted in with a nice red dot, and actually that was plenty good enough for the 25-yard bay that I was shooting in. I was nailing sticks in the back of the berm with good regularity, and so and shot several hundred rounds through it. Didn't do a full torture test on the gun. It was just a function test overall. Again, all the magazines worked, including that 32 round Pro Mag. Actually worked and ran really well. If I'm running this again full time, I'd probably put a few more grains of powder in it than what I had for my really, really light pistol load. Seems to like a little bit heavier load for that radial blowback than what I'm using for my my like production USPSA load with right now I'm loading like a Blue Bullet 124s. Yeah, it still runs though, so that's really, really good. And again, overall, I'm impressed. The platform will more than likely end up picking one of these up. I got the 5 when they asked me about it because I wanted to make sure I'd get it on my little desk here in a video a little bit easier. But if I was going to pick one up, since I have a shorter SBR gun already, I'm actually really curious to pick up a 16 and try that out in competition, see how that works. So that's going to be it for this one. Again, so go check out CMMG and consider picking up a Banshee or a Resolute in that 5 or 16-inch barrel for all your P320 magazine needs.